Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome back to the show. Welcome back to Lead Like a CEO show. Come on in, say hello. I'm your host, Shevvy, and it is Wednesday. Usually I'm here at 1 o'clock Central Time, but I have an event at the same time today. So I decided to come early instead of later. So come on in, say hello, let me know how you're doing. And today we're talking about the power of leading authentically. That is a topic for discussion today. So as you all come in, say hello, drop a hey in the chat. Let me know how your day is going, friend, because I would love to know how your day is going. And also I want to make sure that you can hear me. So as you all come in, I want you to say hello, but also let me know in the chat, are you showing up authentically in your business? Because I would love to know, because showing up authentically will definitely impacts how you lead, how you show up, your quality of life, your mindset, all of it. So today's discussion, I'm going to really share the importance of when we are leading authentically and how powerful it is and how it impacts our business, it impacts our quality of life, it impacts our team. So before I jump in, if you're new here, welcome, say hello, hashtag replay if you're watching this later on. But let me share a little bit about me in the sense of who I am and my why behind what I do at Mac Leadership Academy. So before I jump in, who am I? I am Shevvy Mac, 22 plus years veteran. I served in the United States Air Force. And while I was on active duty, I did a lot of different things. I was in the service, so did a lot of service in a sense of hospitality, in a sense of mortuary, in a sense of training and development, coaching, facilitation, operations, you name it. I did well. I did a lot of different things in the military, but because of my background and my experience, I'm able to really bring all of this experience, all of my knowledge into your business, into organization, to really not only help you to optimize your business operations and develop your team, but really help you as a leader to step fully into that space of running, optimizing your business without feeling like you have to be at the CEO in the CEO position to run your business. So yes, I'm your leadership and business operation consultant for mission driven organizations. So if you're in the home care and healthcare space, I'm your person. If you are supporting an organization that is really focused on mission work, then I would love for you to reach out to me. Okay. So my why behind doing what I do and supporting mission driven organization. And if you've heard this before, hey, welcome back again. If you are new here, my why is because of what my mom started. So my mom started as an entrepreneur, being from South America, Guyana, and raising, honestly, it's 9 kids, 9 living kids, but totally together, my parents had, well, my mom had 11 kids total, and 2 passed away before I was even born. And a lot of us were born, except for my oldest sibling. She was able to meet, actually, two oldest is 7 girls, including myself. But coming from a big family, living in a 1 bedroom, house in Guyana, no electricity in the home, out, using a bathroom where it's like a house, like outside bathroom. So when it comes to thriving in an environment, making things work, being adaptable, being resilient, then definitely that was part of my upbringing since day one, because of my mom and my dad and where we grew up. But my mom was always an entrepreneur. My dad, on the other side, he was always a worker, always a provider. But my mom was always that homemaker, always figuring out, what is next. If this specific thing is not working, she's gonna pivot. She's gonna make, she's made baskets. She's, sold food and a lot of different things to make ends meet. And as we transition here to America back in 1991, again, over 30 years, y'all, 30 years being here in the US and calling Jersey home. My mom, in the beginning, again, still a challenge, still a struggle. But after, getting her ground situated, having living with her sister and all of us 8 kids at the time until my youngest came along. My mom was always out there trying to figure out, okay, what is next, and she decided to become a home health aide employee, and she's always been that person who is very given, very service type individual, and always had a big heart. And her stepping into that field was definitely like ideal. And this ties into the power of being authentic, because my mom it was very authentic, y'all. Like, who you saw, who you got to know, that was her. Like, she didn't care who you were. She didn't care the level of position that you held. Like, she's going to speak to you like she speaks to everybody else. She will let you know when she didn't like something. She will let you know, and she did not care to embarrass us as kids. Like, she didn't care if your friends were around. She did not care. Like, literally, she will call you out. But that was my mom. Very authentic, very real, very like herself. She didn't care like who you were. She showed up as her authentic self. And her stepping into that space of providing and serving individuals in their homes just kind of brought me back to my passion of servicing people and making an impact in the lives of others. Because yes, we need money to run a business, but for me, the money will come along the journey. But for me is really making a big impact in the lives of others. So that's supporting businesses that are mission driven, like home care and healthcare, who are impacting the lives of individuals every single day, which impacts the family, the quality of life that the family has. And that's what my mom did. So I want to continue this legacy, continue this journey, because she was an entrepreneur by heart, and I'm an entrepreneur by heart. Like, I love what I do, and I'm happy that I get the opportunity now after retirement from the Air Force after 22 years to now do more of this, more of what I want to do. So today I am talking about the power of leading authentically. And when you think about leading authentically, I want you to answer this question. As a leader, as a business owner, are you leading authentically? Like, think about that for a second and really think, like, am I showing up authentically? Like, how I really want to show up? Or am I showing up as 50% of myself? Am I showing up as 25% because I'm afraid to show my true self? And think about, if you're not showing up as your authentic self, how is that impacting your team? How is that impacting your culture? How is that impacting your quality of life, your thinking, your decision making? So when you're not showing up authentically, it impacts not only you, it impacts the team, it impacts your business, it impacts your family. So this is why I want to really talk about leading authentically. And being in the military, I have had many leaders. I've encountered many individuals in meetings, strategic meetings, leadership. And I will share one story of one chief. A chief was like the enlisted person, and this chief was very authentic in how he showed up. And because he was authentic and he would, have fun, but also hold us accountable, like, people within the organization loved this individual, respected this individual, admired this individual, and was excited to see this individual as this person will come through and have conversation in different, offices and so forth. Like, they were excited because he was also relatable and he was being himself. But also on the other side, I've dealt with and seen leaders who did not show up authentically. And you can tell, well, I can tell when a person is not showing up as them, as their true self, because it's like you can see they're trying. They're trying too hard, and what they're saying is not it, there's no heart behind it, if that makes sense. It's like there is just like words coming out of their mouths, but it's not felt. I know for me. So let me know, like, when you are in a room of people or even a leader that you're looking at or they're speaking, and you know that this person is not showing up as their authentic self. What vibes do you get from that? What feelings? What thoughts are coming up for you? Let me know in the chat. if you're watching the replay. So that's why, as we are navigating leadership, whether you're in your business, whether you're in an organization, it is important for you to lead authentically, because you are showing up as your authentic self, which means you are showing up in your true power. And when you're able to do that, you are able to create and build a greater sense of trust between yourself and your team, but also you are impacting the culture of your team, of your business and your organization. So again, show up authentically allows you to build a strong culture. It also allows you to build strong trust and bond between yourself and your team. It also allows you to have that autonomy, and not only you, but also your team members as well. And if you are joining me, come on in. I know my camera is like freezing, so it could be technology right now, but just bear with me. So it's not only about the trust, but it also is the autonomy that you have over yourself. And also, when your team members are seeing that, now they feel like, hey, I can have autonomy over myself too, because you are setting the example for them. Because who wants to be in an organization or in a business where there's no autonomy? I know I don't. I do not. So you are setting the example of how you want your people to show up. And if you're showing up authentically, now they feel they don't have that fear that they have to hold back. They know, like, okay, well, hey, if Shevvy is doing it and she's the boss, this is her business, then I get to be myself. I get to show up and be my authentic self. And by having that opportunity for your team, they're also going to be able to be more energetic. They're going to be excited to show up because now they're showing up as their true self. They're going to be resilient because when things are happening, they're not afraid to adjust and pivot, because I'm not being someone else. They're not being someone else. They're being their true self. So there's no hiding. There's no additional stressors. So when stress in life is happening, guess what? They're able to move forward by being resilient and going through this challenging time without looking at, is am I being, watched, or is someone gonna find out, like, hey, I'm not being who I am. So as the leader, I'm gonna just kind of re-summarize this. When you are leading authentically, you're building a greater sense of trust, autonomy, and also resiliency for your team, and also for yourself as well too. And yesterday, I had the opportunity to attend Tuskegee University here in Alabama, their back to school event, and which was sponsored by Amazon. And the guest speaker for the event was Kenny Burns, which at first I never heard of this individual, never. And then, well, in my head, I thought, oh, I haven't heard of this person. So when I met the person, I did some research and I was like, oh, okay, this person is very well known in the industry, in the entertainment industry. And when I met and what I've noticed when I was researching this individual, just a little bit, not a lot, that I can see that this person was authentic. They were like, this is who I am. Accept me for who I am, because I'm not changing for anyone. And what showed up at the event was exactly what I saw on social. Because sometimes when we're in social, we see someone and then we meet them in person. You're like, girl or man, like, I got a different vibe. And or they look like completely different, or they behave differently. And you're looking like, okay, I see the real you now. But as a leader, you want to show up as your true self, no matter if you're online, no matter if you're in person. And this person, Kenny Burns, showed up as his true self. What he had on was more like, that was his style. And also it fit the environment that he was in, which was a college campus. It had colors. On stage, he connected with the audience, because a lot of the younger kids were not aware of who this person were. They're like, who? But by the time he was done, it was connection, because he shared about being authentic. He shared about, and he told them, hey, I cuss. So y'all might hear a few words. And we did. But again, he also shared in his conversation with the panelists, when they were the two interviewers. And he was, because there were some questions asked from the students, and one thing he said that I want to share, it was like the time and opportunities that he had, because he's worked with a lot of celebrities that we know from, Rockefeller, Sean Paul. He's even part of the Fawn Weaver's Uncle Nearest as well too. He's in the spirit. So he has worked over the last 2 decades with lots and lots of people. And one thing that he said that he did not waver or did not change about himself is what being who he is, no matter the person, no matter their status. And I love that, because as a leader, I want to make sure that you are being you. I don't want to work for you. And I know your team don't want to work for you when they see someone totally different, when other people or other organizations or leadership or leaders come into the space, they see a shift. And I do understand when things are happening, you have visitor, it's like, let's put on a show. Team ride, that as build that trust, you want that time that is going to or leader able to transfer that on to teams. So how they the time so they show proves that where like they have space. You don't want that as the leader. So think about, as you're navigating in your space, okay, whether that's in your business, whether that's in your organization, whether that's in your community, ask yourself every day as you step foot into that space, am I showing up authentically? And if I'm not, what do I need to do about what is the one thing that I need to do today to make sure that I start taking steps toward those towards being more authentic? So today was really focused on the power of leading authentically. And I hope that you are. And if you're not, and you like, hey, Shevvy, I want to step more fully into being authentic, especially in my role as a leader, and be able to have tough conversations, be able to empower my team, be able to let go and empower, because I'm showing up as me, because we know as leaders, we cannot be in all the places. So having a team that can support you is going to be critical to your success and also your mental well-being. So if you're in the space of home care and healthcare, and you have your own business, you have a team, and you are in the weeds of your business, and you're like, I need someone to come in to help me just kind of structure things, build out a stronger foundation, but also develop my team, but also allow me and give me the space to where I can show up more authentically, not only in my business, but in other opportunities, then I invite you to reach out to me. You can send me a DM. If you have any questions about my business operation blueprint program, and I would love to share more about that program with you. But in the meantime, what you can do for me, if you're like, hey, I'm not ready to have that conversation with you, Shevvy, I would, and that's cool, I would invite you to take the business operation assessment. And this assessment is really going to give you an opportunity to give you a clearer picture of the things that you need right now for you, for your business. It might be, hey, I need to look at, okay, I need to refocus my time and where I'm spending my time. Also, maybe it might be telling you like, hey, I need to build a more independent team that can actually function without me. It might be, hey, creating a more lifestyle business is what, where I'm trying to get to, but I'm not there yet. But it's a very simple, straightforward questions that you can complete without taking a lot of your time, because I know you're busy. But really, this assessment is I created this assessment to help you really identify, okay, where you're at, because it will give you a quick score based on 1 through 20, and then it will let you know, okay, what's going on and what is the next step that you need to be working on. So you can click the link in the description of this video, and take the assessment. It is free. Okay. So the assessment is free. So take it. And again, if you would love to step more fully into your authentic leadership, then definitely reach out to me. Send me a DM. Say, hey, Shevvy, I watched it live. Or, hey, if you have questions, please reach out. And thank you so much for joining me on the Lead Like the CEO show. I'm your host, Shevvy, your leadership and business operation consultant, helping you to build a sustainable business and team. All right. I will see y'all later. Have an amazing day.